The Lord is our shepherd, I shall not want. Him maketh I lie down in a green pasture. Him leadeth I beside still water. Them him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea! Though I rasta go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Uno prepares a table before I in the presence of our enemy. Them uno anointed I head with no oil. The cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy I go follow I all the days of I Ivan. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Ja! Kadama we grow my beate la eh. Ah, what time you mo This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo. And here we speak truth to power. We don't criticize, but if we must criticize, we would only do it on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country, and always on the side of the truth. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. The truth, the whole truth, nothing but the whole truth and the truth. Now, in every African home, there is a black pot, and each time this black pot is sitting on the fire, ingredients of so many different types, shapes and sizes, aromas, flavors, and colors find themselves inside the black pot, subjected to some good amount of heating, and then they produce food in the aftermath in all its sumptuousness and palatability. My brother, this is that black pot. Different ideas coming in like ingredients. After it's subjected to some cool grilling, we produce the solutions to our problems. This is where we identify the problem, and then we suggest a solution, bringing so many different minds and suggestions into play. That is why we say is the voice of the people, and the voice of the people is the voice of God. My name, come here, Blakk Rasta, and I want to say thank you so much. Today we are beginning a little bit late. In fact, about half an hour late. It was due to problems beyond our control. In fact, technical, but we are right here, and I want to apologize for that and go straight up into action. Do me a favor, share this broadcast so many other people can check it out. Our numbers are also scrolling on the screen. Pick up these numbers and call us and do business with us. We are very accessible, and the whole world is at our feet right now with the Black Pot. Today we have a number of issues to look at, 5 in all. Very interesting issues. And I need you to come here. Come here, my youth. Watch this. First story, my youth. And it says, Bawumia barks at people who call him a liar. Who is this man people call a liar? That's him. People have even recoined his name from Bawumia to Bawalaya. This is the man, a very fine gentleman. When he first came into the country and was hauled into the arena of politics, he was so gentle and so cool. He spoke so eloquently. He was soft-spoken and very intelligent. Little did we know that it was all a make-believe. It was a smoke screen. My brother, my sister, that fine gentleman later showed his true colors, a big fat liar. My brother, my sister, to the point that even unborn children were calling him a liar. The name Bawumia in Ghana is synonymous with lies and liars. He's tried so much to be able to break free from this lying tag, but he has never been able to do it. My brother, my sister, Bawumia, does he see himself as a liar? How does he see people who call him a liar? This one I'm reading from Ghana Web, and it says, people who call me a liar have an impossibilities mindset. Rabbit Mayot, flag bearer for the new patriotic party, the MPP, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has explained that he is called a liar because he believes that Ghana can do exactly what is happening in the Western world. He says he has, over the years, thought of possibilities. However, the people who have tagged him as a liar are persons who have always propagated impossibilities. I said to someone that at least I am not called a murderer, like my boss was called. I am not called a drug dealer. Or am I government official one? He's asked. But he didn't end there. He continued, why do these things arise? Fundamentally, I believe that Ghana can do exactly what is happening in the developed world. I believe it is possible for us to leapfrog technology. For us to do this, we must have a mindset of possibilities. That's why I am saying it's possible. We are always timid in trying to do things that are not even done in advanced countries. We think because it's not done in advanced countries, then we shouldn't even try. But we can leapfrog them in many areas, he said. Dash him away. My brother, it is so good to encourage people and tell people that yes, it's possible. It's so good to be a motivational speaker, especially if you know what you're about. But Ghanaians are not calling Bawumia because he's telling people that it's possible. They call him a liar because he has made promises that he has failed to fulfill. Don't run away from the subject. You are being called a liar because you made a plethora of promises which you failed to deliver on. To your people in Mampurugu, to your people in the Ashanti, to your people even in the Greater Accra region. And when I say to your people, people who follow him, he has made promises and he has not been able to deliver. My brother, my sister, so many different promises. If we want to go into this, we are going to hurt ourselves. And this is a man who is two-faced. Today he says this and tomorrow he's saying another thing. We all remember when he told us clearly that the exchange rate had exposed the previous government because fundamentally the economy was weak. When it was his time, today as we stand, the dollar to the cedi exchange rate is so terribly bad. $1 is now 17 Ghana cedis in some quarters here in Ghana. But if you want to go to the banks, they will give it to you for 16.5 Ghana cedis to $1. At the time that he said that the dollar had risen over the cedi, it was 4 Ghana cedis to $1. How do you explain that? Dr. Bawumia wants to go into economics that he himself doesn't understand. He says a lot of things. At the end of the day, when a man tells one lie, he would have to tell many more lies to cover that one lie. And by so doing, many more times, he becomes a barrage of lies walking around. He's a walking encyclopedia of lies. Somebody write it down. Bawumia has proven to Ghanaians that he is the walking encyclopedia of lies. He holds a PhD in lies. My brother, he told us so many different things. At the end of the day, when we were expecting him to deliver, the opposite came into being, and he couldn't come out to defend these things. E-levy is one such thing. He said, for him, it was poor people who used Momo. Do you all remember that? It's poor people who use Momo. What is Momo? Mobile money. People who do transactions like that on tables in Ghana and beyond. Right now, Momo is a big business. He told us that he will never tax Momo. A few days later, his boss, under who he serves, decided to institute the e-levy. And when we fought against it, challenging the president to listen to Bawumia, Bawumia, the coward, never came out to say, hey, my boss, I told the people that e-levy, we are not ready for that. It's poor people who use it. Don't tax poor people. He never said it. My brother, it's not about what you say, but it's about your quietness when wrong is being done. Did you hear me? When you sit down and see people doing wrong, and you do not rise against it or say anything about it, then you are condoning wrongdoing. How many people understand this and agree with me? You sat down for your boss, Nana Akufo-Addo, to implement these things. The coward Bawumia never left his office. If I were him, I would resign and tell the people that, hey, I promise the whole nation that I will never do Momo, and we will never do it because it's poor people who are engaged in that kind of transaction. Today, my boss is doing it. I feel betrayed, and honorably, I want to bow out. No, the coward decided to stay in power and decided to enjoy the fruits of power. Today, he wants us to vote him into power. Do we all remember when he went to Cape Coast and told the people of Cape Coast that they were bringing them an airport? Do we remember? And a harbor. His boss, Nana Akufo-Addo, whose memory is so wavering right now, very, very wavy, he went to the people of Cape Coast and told them that he never promised them any airport. He will never promise them any airport because of A, B, C, D, E, F. Looking at the topology and blah, 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 blah. He had forgotten that his own vice president had gone there to promise. So where was the promise coming from? Did Bawumia just get up to go and promise the people of Cape Coast? And his boss did not know about it? Obviously, it tells us that something is wrong. Either this man just goes and sees the people so happy and he decides to make them happier in Coast by telling them lies, or he has a boss who is so eccentric. In other words, he can't stand on one foot and say, this is what I stand for. Today he's here, tomorrow he's there. Bawumia says anyone who calls him a liar has the mind of impossibilities. He is moving away from why we call him a liar. To make promises and never deliver, you become a liar. To tell us this today and tomorrow, you tell us that no, when you said it, this was not what you meant, and try to take all of us for fool. That is why we call you a liar. My brother, my sister, is the Blakk Port, aka Kokoshonmo. Bring his photograph here. Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, I used to truly like you. I still like you as a person, but I hate your character of lying. You have become a pathological liar, and I am so hurt. I came to your house on your invitation, sat with you before you got into power, and you saw the fire in my eye looking for a good leader. I'm glad the day I came to you, I didn't even drink water from your home. Today, I would have been told that you fed me from morning till night because you are a man who lies. I'm glad that when I was going, as tradition would demand, when a younger brother comes to you, where me and you come from, at least you give them transport and say, take these coins and sit in trotro. You didn't do that. And I don't have a problem. Today, I'm sure you would have said that you gave me millions of dollars. Finally, today you are unable to respond to me because you know that I genuinely want Ghana to prosper and to go where it's supposed to be. Because when I met you, these were the same things I told you. We were tired of Mahama. And I remember I told you that I was going to support you so that we will fight this government, Mahama government, out of power. Because we're tired of Mahama and the corruption going on. I'm glad we succeeded. But you are a bigger disappointment than Mahama. You and your boss. You are not your own man. You sit down and tell us a lot of things. When you go, your boss shoots down everything. You are not man enough to tell him, boss, I feel so embarrassed that I went into a meeting, told the people A, B, C, D, and I come back finally and you shoot down all these things. I want to resign. Please, I'm going. They don't even respect you. They don't respect you. Your boss should have apologized to you if he didn't also see you as that liar that every Ghanaian sees you as. When you went to Cape Coast and made those promises to the chiefs of the people, for your boss to go there and negate everything, later going there to say, oh yeah, truly, we have promised a harbor, but not an airport. He should have apologized to you. But he didn't, because you are nobody. It hurts me that a fine gentleman like you have belittled yourself because of politics. And we, those who used to support you, have been embarrassed to the core. That's your way. It's the Black Port, aka Kokoshonomo. And here we speak truth to power. Next story, my youth. Watch this and come here. Ghana still begging for cash for cocoa. My brother, do you remember a few days ago, less than a week, I was standing right here in front of you and applauding Ghana for saying that the cocoa industry now is so independent and is making its own money, creating its own wealth, and will not go out there and borrow? Do you remember? And we applauded. The minority in parliament came out to tell us that no, it was all a lie, and that you were unable to go out there and borrow. That was why you said that you were going to create your own wealth. In other words, you were not credit-worthy. Well, we expected that at least you would live by your words. But today, this is what I saw. And it shocked me. Come here, my youth. What did Black RASTA see? Cocoa Board still in talks with foreign lenders for cocoa syndication loan. And this is the finance minister talking. You know who a lender is? Somebody who lends money to you. Ghana will say somebody who borrows you money. Somebody where they borrow you money. Now you they call lender. Ghana is still running helter-skelter looking for lenders to borrow money from for the cocoa sector. What happened to Cocoa Board saying that they are not independent? Remember this same finance minister, another guy who is almost going to behave like Bawumia. And it's sad that it's my brothers that they are putting in those ridiculous positions. When everybody has failed, then they will bring them there to ridicule them the more because everything is helter-skelter bad. I don't know how many people understand what I'm saying. This is Mohamed Amin Anta. Last 2 weeks, what did he tell us? He said that this government is going to borrow and is happy that it looks good, that the lenders are ready to give money to Ghana. At this point, after going to the IMF and the World Bank, knees are ground, hands capped, and begging, you are still looking to beg for the last few months of your tenure of office. It tells you how desperate we have become and how we lack virtues in this country. This is Mohamed Amin Anta, a fine gentleman. I know him. We grew up in the same area in Tamale. The same area. He's a fine gentleman, just like Bawumia. But the party they belong to, they only bring them in to ridicule them, unfortunately. The Minister of Finance, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, has stated that the country's cocoa regulator, Cocoa Board, is still in talks with foreign lenders to raise a syndicated loan to fund the next crop season. Oh, Jesus. My brother, are you crying like I'm crying? The next crop season, we have to wait for people to come and lend us money before we can go and grow cocoa. To produce our food, we have to wait for people to give us money before we can eat. According to him, Cocoa Board has not completely abandoned the entire cocoa syndication loan program. You know why he's putting that? Because a few days ago, they told us that they are not depending on any lenders and loans. in the cocoa sector. After several years, they are now on their feet to deal with the cocoa industry. Hey, I'm going to match the youth. There will be a big revolution in this country and the whole of Africa. Nobody would ever envisage that. I'm telling you that. Cocoa Board is not abandoning the cocoa syndication. Negotiations are ongoing, but it will not bring in more than $600 million out of an initial target of $1.5 billion. When they mention the money they are borrowing, my bones shudder. When they mention the amount of money they are borrowing, I don't feel like I have strong bones. I feel like I have cartilaginous bones. Did you hear that? Dr. Amin Adam is quoted to have said by Bloomberg during an interaction with journalists in Accra on August 26, 2024. He indicated that the inability to achieve this funding target has led Cocoa Board to seek alternative sources of funding. Hey, and look at this next paragraph, and I end there. The update by the finance minister comes after the Cocoa Board announced last week that it was breaking away from a 32-year tradition of seeking funds from international banks for the annual cocoa crop season to adopt a method of self-reliance, in other words, independence, at the start of the 2024-2025 crop season for cocoa in September 2024. Now, the chief executive officer of Cocoa Board, his name is Joseph Boahin Edu. He was my lecturer at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. A fine gentleman, soft-spoken. He used to like me. My dreadlocks, I was the only one in the class with dreadlocks, and he liked my bravery, but he has let me down. Dash it away. My brother, hey, I hate it when I have to repeat myself. I sound like a tape on repeat. Do you all remember when our old people sold out our cocoa fields to Chinese people to do galamsey? They decided to do galamsey, illegal mining, to the point that parents were so happy anytime they gave birth to males in the cocoa area because they had extra farm hands. This is equivalent to slavery. In the days of slavery, the slave guy saw us as chattels, movable property. Hey, Al Jazeera reported that Ghana cocoa was actually booming all because of child labor. But it had been polluted because of galamsey. China quickly came back. Yeah. Those who don't speak Chinese. It's very simple. Oh yes, we got the right cocoa right there in Guangzhou. Even in Beijing. The same Ghana cocoa. But ours is unpolluted. That's the betrayal we got from China. Our own people help China come in and disturb and destroy our cocoa. But they took our cocoa beans like Tete Kwashi did from Bioko. Fernando Po at the time went to China and decided to duplicate and replicate our cocoa. So when the international world, the EU, said, we don't want your cocoa anymore, Ghana, we are going to stop coming for your cocoa because it's polluted. China said, we have the same Ghana cocoa, but the difference is that this is unpolluted. We were angry for a few days and we forgot it. China gave us another shocker. Hey, the best Gari comes from Ghana. This was the place where Gari started by the kind courtesy of our Ewe brethren and sisters. When the Portuguese came here and introduced us to cassava, manioc. My brother, my sister, Esculanto manioc. Xanthosuma sagittafolium. In the north, they plant a lot of yams. But in the south, it's more of cassava, which we turn into Gari. You know what happened? The Chinese said, we have the same Ghana cassava, and we make Gari out of Ghana cassava. Chinese make Gari They don't eat gari, but they make it for us to eat. Chinese print our wax prints and sell back to us. My brother, what the Chinese is trying to tell us is that let's stand on our feet and do proper business. Or else, it's just going to be a name that we own cocoa, yet China supplies the world with cocoa, our own cocoa. In these days, you can say you have cocoa in your country, but some other people are able to clone the same cocoa in their country. I wanted to go a little bit into history, but time will not permit me. The long and short of it all is Ghana cocoa is still crying for loans so we can plant them. It's a black pot, aka Cocoa Shonamo. This is where we are. And they say they want to break the 8. Are we okay? Today I went to the World Trade Center for a book launch. And so many young men who saw me, I was surprised. They came over to me. You know what they were saying? Those who were shouting, Kukushonamo, black pot, Kukushonamo. I realized that a number of them were also saying, listen, if Bawumia wins this election, I am leaving this country for you. They were quoting it left, right, and center. I didn't know. Ajite. Everybody has heard it. Try me and see. Vote him into power. I will respect you so much, but I can't be part of the suffering. I will leave you to continue living in a land of lies. It's a black pot, aka Kokoshonomo. And here, you know it, we speak truth to power. When we return, we have more, and we shall read your letters too. Hey! Send in your messages. Wayo!
Blackpot, Coco Show.
It's the black pot, aka Coco Shonam, and here we speak truth to power. Next story, my youth. Watch it roll. Lord God have mercy. Ghana bans export of food. Every day, it looks like a new calamity comes. These days, I don't even want to go to bed. Because when I wake up, there's a new calamity knocking on my door. The dollar has broken jail. It has kicked the IGP into the sea. The IGP has become a whale. Bonsu is in there. As for the key, we don't know where it is. The dollar has broken jail and pocketed the key. Bawumia promised us that he had arrested the dollar boldly, bold decisions and solutions, and decided to lock up the dollar permanently, giving the key to the IGP. If I were the IGP, I'll just come out and tell Ghanaians, I beg you, nobody give me no jail key. Today, jail is broken. IGP is to blame. Let's get more serious. My brother, there's drought in the northern part of Ghana, the middle belt that form our bread basket. You know what it means to say bread basket? Where the food is from. It's sad, but that is what is happening. And look at the headlines. Ghana bans export of rice, corn, and soya beans to address food shortage. Ghana is banning the export of some grains, including rice, corn, and soya, to avert a drought-induced food shortage in the West African nation. Drought and near-drought conditions over the past 2 months have increased the risk of crop failure in a part of the country responsible for about 62% of Ghana's grain production. Agricultural Minister Brian Echampong told reporters Monday in the capital, Accra, the 6 affected regions are mostly in the north. Did you hear that? 62% of all your grains in terms of food come from the north. And there's a drought there. As much as 1.8 million hectares of land are at risk, and farmers growing food on roughly half that area have already been impacted. He said, we are forecasting a significant shortfall in grain availability. Said Echampong, without any interventions, this could lead to a nationwide food shortage. Do you understand that? Listen to that again. I've taught you to read between the lines, youth. We are forecasting a significant shortfall in grain availability. If he was in the church, you know the language. We are prophesying by the Spirit of God that there will be food shortage in Ghana. Without any interventions from God, this could lead to a nationwide food shortage. Dash it away. You will bring back that same thing later. But my brother, you know what Brian Echampong is saying? In Ghana, when we say interventions, we're talking about white people bringing us aid. In Ghana, when we talk about interventions, we are looking at the IMF and the World Bank. I live in a country where our people have brains here, they can't think. I live in a country where a lot of the youth have been made to look like mooses. You know what a moose is, right? Dunces. You know who a dunce is? Look at the number of youth we have with sense. Look at how Ghanaians are so sharp. But we have conscience that is so numb and blunt. Kai Blakk Rasta, say it again. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Say it again, Blakk Rasta. Where are we at far? Kai. I say, we live in a country where the youth, led by these dirty people in power, called politicians, have led astray. In my country, Ghana, write it down. In my country, Ghana, our conscience for corruption is very blunt and dead. We don't care what we do to survive. We don't. And it brings tears into my eyes. You can see tears in my eyes, right? My brother, we work so hard, yet we have very little to show. Today I was saying this on radio. I have refused every bribe. I have decided to stay true to integrity. People who are around me know that much as I struggle and I suffer, some days I walk out and I don't have a penny. Not even 10 Ghana cedis. But I refuse bribes. And I'm not alone. There are a lot of you who also do that. But a lot more. Their conscience is so blunt. They don't care to kill billions to make millions. They don't care. They sell you out. They steal. Kleptomania is a very dangerous disease in this country. If the Ghanaian could even steal air, he will steal it. Everything we steal. From Toto all the way to Bonto, we steal. Oh, this is somebody's wife. We don't care. We go steal her. It's sad. It's sad. Look how our farmers work so hard. But politicians are those who control galamsey in Ghana. Go to the galamsey field. 99.99999%. And I say this without apology. Allegedly, from politicians who speak to us time after time, of the galamsey field is owned by politicians, to the point that the president can come out and say somebody who has been accused of doing galamsey, written in black and white by a man who is trained to do that and given the authority to do that. President comes out and say that this is, it's not true. This man is not doing galamsey. And we all know who I'm talking about, Chairman Wuntumi. The other day, he had the effrontery to tell me I should go and bath. And I asked him, bath with which water? The water that you guys have polluted with your dirty mining. You come on TV and parade gold and all that, and you want the people to say that you are successful. And Ghanaians with no common sense will follow people like this and follow dirty money. It's sad. Dirty money. Some Ghanaians don't care. Thieves are becoming church elders. We don't care. We are stealing from each other night and day. Some time ago, for a man to kill another man because of money in Ghana was difficult. But today, people kill for fun. It's sad. Galamsey has destroyed our environment. Now the rains have refused to fall. People are praying to God. God, let the rains fall. Why? Why, God? Why, God? The answer is lying in front of you, Galamsey. The president has failed in the fight for galamsey, to the point that the pseudo prime minister of the republic, Gabi, we were told was defending some mining firm. Some people said it was a galamsey firm. Others said, it was a legal mining firm. Look how they have destroyed our land. Right now it's not raining, and you are saying no food should be exported. Soon they are going to Colombia. From Colombia, they go to Ukraine and Russia and be begging for grains. Oh, what a cursed people. Kai, when I have the opportunity to meet God, I will ask him, why? What happened to us? We need a leader with common sense. A leader who will parade all the youth. All the stupid youth who are not ready to think, feed them to the lions, Chad's lions. Those who have common sense and are ready to learn, bring them so that the nation will develop. Sometimes you have to sacrifice a few idiots, throw them into the lion's den for the wise ones to be able to lead the nation. How many people agree? We need radical leadership, not fanfool, lying politicians. Dash it away. What are we waiting for? I want to tell you, if hunger comes into this country, it's me and you who die. Me and you in Nima. Me and you in Ashaiman. Me and you in Taifa. Brana Champon will never die. Nanado will never die. Bawumia will never die. Mahama will never die. Chirabosom will never. It's me and you who are going to die. You know why we're going to die? Because we don't have it. Yet, when it's time for sacrifice, we are those they sacrifice to get their power. 8 people gunned down, some of them as young as 14 years. I'm told. For a certain man to become president, no investigation. And when vice president was asked, he said, he didn't know there was no investigation, but he will check it out. But at last, he says that his boss was called a murderer. Thank God he was only called a liar. What are you trying to say? 8 people have died for you guys to come into power. And this is the kind of joke you can give? Your boss was called a murderer and you see it as a joke. If you're not a murderer, what are you? For you to come into power, people die, and you have not been able to institute a certain kind of investigation into that. You sit down and cross your leg because you are comfortable in power. And when we call you murderers, you say that it's a long shot. Dash it away. I said you will bring back something. Bring it here. Watch this. Ghana is following countries such as Nigeria and the Ivory Coast to restrict grain exports this year to improve food security. In other words, Nigeria and Ivory Coast have already said that nobody can export any grain from outside their country. This comes after a swat of South Africa, including Zambia, Botswana, and Zimbabwe, suffered the driest February in at least 4 decades, wiping out crops. That particular drought was blamed on the El Nino weather phenomenon. Ghana plans to raise $500 million American to mitigate the impact of the grain shortage. Where are they going to get it from? Do you want to know? Do you want to know where that money is going to come from? It's there. Including about $155 million American from the World Bank and other development partners. Finance Minister Mohamed Amin Adam said Monday. Dash it. Every time they are running after money, loans, and begging. What kind of a people are we? What happened to our gold? What happened to our bauxite? What happened to our human resources? We are always begging. My brother, this is what has befallen us. To God be the glory. Dash it away. When we return, we will be reading your messages and we'll do more. My name, Blakk, RASTA. Hey! Hey! Wayo!
Blackpot, Coco Show, man.
It's the Blackpot, aka Coco Show. And here we speak truth to power. Well, what do you think about what we have said so far? Keep your comments coming in and remember to share the broadcast so many more people can be brought to speed with what is happening on our continent. Yes. Run it, my youths. Let's see what you think. All right. So, Raphael Kofi says, watching live from London. Tina Ray. Wayo. Ernest Osuagbo says, more fire, Blakk. You are the best teacher in the world. Champion Zekalanga says, preach, Blakk. Zion Genesis says, real talk. Kwame Selom says, more fire. Wani Boy says, good evening, Blakk. Welcome back. Oyoy. Abdullah Suleiman says, Wayoy. Isa Prominent says, I'm in class. Zanika GH says, watching live from Polygono. Wayoy. Isa Prominent comes back to say, watching from Jasikan, Ghana, Oti region. Vomit out the truth to power. Run the story, my youth. Watch this. You think say you did wise. Wayoy. One boy says, our own tax. If we want development, we have to beg those who begged us to employ them to do the job for us. What a country. Mahmoud Demba says, arise, Ghana youth, for your country. Arise, Ghana youth, for your country. Your nation demands your devotion. Let us all unite to uphold and make her great and strong. We are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building our motherland. And this is vote out all these clueless, heartless, useless, and arrogant people in office. Zacha Emmanuel, aka Governor, says, welcome, Godfather. Yaboa Emmanuel Kwabena says, you're NDC man. Okay, I think he wanted to say, you are an NDC man, so anything you will not like because you don't like NPP. Well, Kwabena, se kromno, tija, yina nebeshe. Se me NPP o, me NDC o, and now so future abosoma, and to ushe nipa oye politics unto me hu, oni afraon. Nipa come di me say, ma bejina TV so a me kasa. Enti me politics. Wa sema unka no. Wa sitting na muti saying. Omu amu ye NPP for kran. Omu si krom na say. Nyaho tamaklo asembe no kan. Osi say yekoto aba no. E yasemba ko pet na Ghana for beti say NPP. Aban no en no subio. Si mimi e NDC. Ade we akwala na. Afi na yawo sabi. Etitia ye bo omachi sa no na ye den. NDC mremu no yesi me NPP. Anyway, Zache Emmanuel says, here is another special day with Blackport. Patriotism, not politics. Run the story to the bongo clippings. The board Nana Kobna says, Massa, show respect for our elders. So elders no miya mukong omukumwa omumamu ndrubone amunumna muwa kona kochira omu respect no wate ya bro edrubone se numa ka se o pacho mim se edrubone so respect intimenum num newu ebesie wuti se kraman ba hwehuye boso ye to aba no wi a wa na obeba wo de abo no bo no bebreme say boso akasapa ho. Anyway, he says the same Yabua Nana Kwabena says, Massa, I say you are what, a liar. When did you support MPP? Hey, go back to some of the tapes were going around. Monty tape this and this MPP people were using recently that I was speaking against Mahama. We are quality. You know, you don't know. So anyway, we are fighting for the nation. Also, a big, bright nation. We are all happy. Maybe I want to kind of Togo crown cohoda. Me ma tutu kind of brave. My child there was university. I'm on Met my family passport. Who show me passport? Because a picture book. Krobia we are so new or visa. It must some family in an air to call. But me ma nti, womanti, unti, and many other people. Which my ba abe can't say my ope. But omo me, and they have followed me all this while. They know say we have spoken like this all the time. My politician, Bakumbra, he should come and tell me, say, well, mommy, 20 pesos da. And then me kind of Bawumia, let me tinifie. Sitting with him, we're talking about how to remove my armor. This summer, Bawumia. The evidence is always there. Alexander Kwesi says, Tuma Black Rasta, tell Bawumia, it's not what you say that defends you, but what you do. Oh, yes. It's not about what you say, it's about your deeds. Bawumia, you're a big liar. And that's what defends you. Watching you from Ontario, Canada. Alexander Kwesi says, Black Rasta, the vampire doctor you mentioned yesterday. The hospital was Valco Hospital. You are right. Not Gapoa. Valco Hospital. And it happened at President Kufuor's time. Alexander Kwesi, you know it. Dr. Audrey. Let me swear. But I knew what it was. Conscious Agbenemua Hosu, he says, fire. Solo, the temple, says facts on facts. Lucy, Kurbela, Nation Wreckers and Looters, NPP. No Bab says second largest producer of cocoa beans in the world. But the cocoa farmer is poor and would have to wait for loans to come in before he plants every year. What a disaster. We have some that can be say MPP. And you oh Jesus. Maybe next time you may bomb me bioma, me bakroma. Me call Togo. And I say me call Ivory Coast. And I say me tina Garden of Eden cry. My bread. Next time, me tina Garden of Eden. Because ebimu, those you are fighting for, they are fighting to keep the thieves in. No Bab says, we have no industries around cocoa in Ghana. Kwame Nkrumah, I'm so sorry. We have no industries, meanwhile we have all the resources. Why can't we refine our own cocoa and oil and bauxite, even lithium? Such jokers. Agree with you, sir. Hey. It was in a coupon and next story, my youth. Watch this. Prophet Nigel Gaisie slaps Peace Council. Yehovah. That's him. He's a prophet of God. I served under him for a couple of years. He released me nicely. And I went out to do things. He's a fine man of God. I love him. He has his weaknesses like every other man. Even ancient prophets in the Bible, everybody has a weakness. Everybody, including you. In our country, men of God, we want them to behave like angels. Even angels. Some are bad angels. They become fallen angels or demons. I'm saying this because some people would already start saying, oh, this man, oh, that man. But you cannot take it away that he's anointed. He speaks the mind of God a lot of times and they all come to pass. Why is Prophet Nigel Gaisie angry? He has slapped the National Peace Council. Double slap. You know what double slap is? Pa! At the same time. Nigel Gaisie takes on Peace Council for being active only during elections. Run it. Hey. There was controversy at the National Peace Council's collaborative dialogue with prophets in the Greater Accra region. Wow. Now the meeting on Tuesday took a dramatic turn when the founder of the True Word Prophetic Fire Ministries, Prophet Nigel Gaisie, took the stage. He pointed out that the council appeared to be active only during elections, citing some prominent cases in which he felt the council had been silent. These included the Ayawaso West Wagomba election violence and the Techiman election killings, amongst others. I live close to Ayawaso West Wagom. I saw the happenings of Ayawaso West Wagom. Still, I don't know when Peace Council is going to speak on it or release a communique to that effect. He said, we were in the country when our brothers and sisters in Techiman were killed. Till today, no word from Peace Council of the Republic of Ghana. Just last month or so, the Ghana Statistical Service brought a data or a survey that suggested that the regular Ghanaian cannot afford 3 square meals, but we have an agricultural minister paid by the regular Ghanaians' tax. It just said, a comfort no omutia omu ifuna ese. We pay the hungry people pay the well-fed. He urged the council to be proactive in addressing all issues, rather than what he described as selective action, stressing that the peace cannot be built in a vacuum. We should appreciate that peace is not found in a vacuum. There are certain conditions, there are certain tenets that must prevail before peace, as it were, can be established. However, the chairman of the National Peace Council, Reverend Dr. Ernest Edujemfi, responded to his accusations. Meanwhile, the founder and presiding Archbishop of Action Chapel International, Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, offered advice to both prophets and politicians ahead of the upcoming elections. This is one of the best speeches I've heard from Prophet Nigel Gaisie. What the prophet is saying is that you appear to have selective justice. People died, no comment. You are only active when elections are coming. But when politicians are misbehaving, you don't care. You don't say anything. Peter Tosh said, until we have equal rights and justice, there cannot be peace. So treat what brings about the issues. Treat what brings about the lack of peace. And thus, equal rights and justice must be upheld. But no, politicians are stealing, the people are crying, you don't say anything. They will rise, then you come out and say, peace, oh, peace, oh. That's what Prophet Nigel Gaisie is saying. Please dash it away. And bring me Prophet Nigel Gaisie here. Prophet Nigel Gaisie, love and respect every time. I appreciate what you have said. Continue to speak truth to power. And I believe at the end of it all, Ghana will be a better place. Dash it away. Next story. And this one is interesting. The youth will enjoy this. Womanizing worried me. Asamoah Gyan. Hey. This is Asamoah Gyan. I'm glad he's been bold enough to come out and say this. Asamoah Gyan is a very strong man. His waist is very strong. He's very potent. My brother, he's handsome. He has cash. These are the qualities a lot of women like. Even if you are kakai and you have money, a lot of our sisters wouldn't mind. Let alone you are handsome. You have money on top. You have fame on top. You are a recipe for female fights. It's my man. It's my man. He can't collect my man. She's trying to collect my man. When you go to my area, these fights are very regular. Where? Hey! Where? Okay, mini. Where? Kai, laila, kai ni, I kai shege. Women's fight is normally interesting. A friend of mine told me, when you see two women fighting, don't ask them why they are fighting. There's a man in the middle. And a man told me that he loves it when women fight over him. He will just lock himself in the room and look in the keyhole to see which one is being beaten and which one is winning the fight. After that, he will Nicodemously go to the one who has been beaten and then buy her some fried rice and take her home again and eat her. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. As Asamoah Gyan said, one thing that worried him was womanizing. He wanted to stop, he couldn't. Anything that modeled in front of him that looked a little beautiful, queer, pow! It's fire. Womanizing didn't help me. Asamoah Gyan reveals biggest regret in life. Biggest regret. Ghana's all-time top scorer, Asamoah Gyan, has revealed that he was a womanizer during his heydays, admitting that the act did not positively impact his life. While speaking about his life lessons and regrets on Bawumia TV, the former Black Stars skipper advised the youth against womanizing, using himself as an example. Everybody's a womanizer, but womanizing did not help me. I will advise partners to keep their issues between themselves, he said. Asamoah Gyan, who had been married since 2013, officially divorced his wife in 2023, 10 years later, after the court annulled the union on October 31, 2023. He has 3 children with his ex-wife, Gifty, who claimed custody of the children while Asamoah Gyan is obligated to pay child support. That's it away. One day, I was sitting in my room trying to write some song. A reggae artist who is now based in America, I'll try to remember his name, Ekomaika. He called me and said, "Hey, yeah, Didi." So, yeah, Didi. Say, "Blakk, yeah, Didi." I said, "What is this?" He said, "Asamoah Gyan." I said, "Why?" I said, "Wakofa obabio. Me were recording now." The long and short of it all was that he was saying that I should help him blackmail Asamoah Gyan because he had gone to sleep with a certain woman and they recorded the act and everything and they wanted to use it to blackmail Asamoah Gyan and get money from him. I said, "Can I speak with a lady?" The next moment, the lady was on the line. "Yes, he slept with me. He beg. And when women are crying whilst telling you a story, be careful. A lot of the times, lies. Even men. Some men cry when they are telling you a story. A lot of it is lies. I took my time. I investigated it a little. And as Asamoah Gyan said, he had gone training. Listen, he had gone to play football and was very tired and was now going home. Listen to this story. When somebody called him on his phone, he picked up the phone. It was a lady. "Hey, Asamoah, and Asamoah Gyan said, this lady had been calling him over and over, inviting him to come home. For what? That day, the woman took it a notch higher. She said, "I've prepared everything for you. The food is ready." Immediately, Asamoah Gyan, in his own words, he was so sweaty, dirty, but upon hearing that the food was ready, well spiced, smelling good, sweet aroma, he decided that he will go and be sure if the food was ekwegwemi or it was gobe or fried rice and chicken. He got there. The lady opened the gate. "Oh, Asamoah didn't know where me, sir." Asamoah couldn't wait. He turned the lady, pulled down whatever she was wearing. It was a nice bikini. So he just rolled it up a little bit, bent her over, and spanked her. Pa, pa, pa. After that, he said, you will have done. And then he went home. A few days later, the lady said, "You raped me." "Yes, you raped me." He said, "Hey, me." So this was what Ekomaika wanted to get me involved in, so that we will blackmail Asamoah Gyan and get his money. I told him, me, I didn't work for Asamoah Gyan's money. Me, I don't blackmail people. Me, I don't need dirty money. He took another journalist on, and all those people were grabbed, including the lady, Asamoah Gyan, and the journalist, trying to blackmail Asamoah Gyan. Ekomaika, the lady, and the journalist. You remember it was all over in the news. I would have been that journalist if I was greedy. Oh, thank you, God, for not making me. A Rasta man, long dreadlocks to the ground, tells me somebody raped a lady that I know, Black Rasta. Everybody says you are the best person to carry this story. I say, hey, can I speak with a lady? At a point, I think they wanted to even give me some of the food so that I will get more energy to push the story. Yes, I like food, but some food is poisonous. Be careful. Womanizing worried me. I wish Asamoah Gyan had gone into details. Apart from wrecking his name, it also cost him money. He had to go and do DNA and some other such things. Maybe pay for abortions. At the same time, buy cars, buy houses. Today he sits back and looks at the money that he has wasted on cooked food. And he tells himself, how many of you are in that? You like it, right? You like it. It's good. Be careful. Be very careful. Or else, my brother, a day of reckoning is coming. If you are lucky, you don't catch a damnable disease that will take you to an early grave. You will lose your finances. I have a certain friend in Accra here. He's always moving from friend to friend, asking them for money. He says he's sick. Just 2 days ago, I was told that friend, when you give him money, you know what he does? Thank God he doesn't use drugs. But he goes to Circle and he looks at the ladies there and he picks the best. He will pay heavy money. He will buy kinky, 3 balls of kinky, no fish. He will use it against the weather. After firing, the next day he's holding his CV going around. I'm looking for a job. Please, can you help me? I need transport. He's looking for money to go to Circle. It's an addiction. It can bring you diseases. Be careful. Sometimes it's difficult to fight, but with prayer and determination, you'll be able to deal with it. Thank you, Asamoah Gyan, for sharing your story with us. Come here. We appreciate you and we love you. It's been the Black Pot. Shall we have your final messages? Franklin Asari says, good evening, Blakk. Boosted says, the only option is to bring Osajfu Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's party, CPP, back. Well, I believe that other political parties can come with Nkrumah ideology and even more, and things can work out. Jason Andre says, when power changes, the people on the other side will come in and do the same things happening now. It's a vicious circle. I think about it and it saddens me. I agree with you. That's it. It's a cyclical curse. What the Christian in the Pentecostal church will call generational curse. Depending on whether you are in Nigeria or Ghana, it could be generational curses. Jason Andre says, nothing better than Black Rasta speaking tree. Permitry pound. Cosco Okmasio, Jack. You know, a tree no air is slanging. The kind of the Jack, sauce. And a Kumasi boggers. And say, I'm a jai pimpinis shit. Let me a bad bogger. And ya be a pa Jack. A chef. Anka Jack or a chef. And ya be a rough or say crum. A shed and a ya and saying and teaching. Tree a canon. A tree a canon queer. For life is for life. Who of fire, Black Rasta. Boosted says, Blakk, forget that Kwabena. And let's move on, sir. No, we need him on board. And he will be, we have to be able to win souls. Halal says the system is sick and we are insecure. I like that. But with determined minds, ready to unlearn and learn new things. Blakk, forever speak truth to power with these wicked old folk. Rise up, African youth, man. Rise up and take over your land. Come on, come on. Oh, Jesus. For life, says Black Rasta, forget about them. We are here for you, more fire. Jason Andre says, Black Rasta, I am done with university. I went on a government scholarship, but I will do anything in my power not to return. I beg you, return. Please, we need you. Please, there are some people here, they are also looking for the scholarship to go. Some of them, we don't trust them. Others too, we trust them. I need to see what happens on December 7th. That will determine my decision. Okay, at least you are staying for some time. That is good in itself. Kofi Azuma says, greetings to my brother Black Rasta. How are you doing on this blessed Tuesday? I'm doing good. Kofi Azuma says, Kevin Taylor told Ghanaians long time ago that Nana Addo was just a toy president running Ghana down into the ground. Well. Nobab says, Once we start respecting ourselves as a people and start being patriotic, these politicians will not have any choice but to respect us as well. I agree with you. And this is what I'm trying to give out to the youth. These politicians, whether good or bad, come from us. That's very true as well. We make bad politicians. It's true. We run after them, begging them for money. Do you know what they receive as pay? Where are they going to get the excess for you? Kofi Azuma says, Black Rasta, I never knew that you were coming on here live every day. Oh, please, sorry. So how did you get to know? Every day, Monday to Friday. Saturdays, I take my Sabbath. And then I also do some other things, you know. No Bab says, ewole monko. Ewole monko. Ewole monko. That means what? It means we are monko. Anna. Asamoah Gyan. Okay. Ewole monko. I don't speak Ghan, so. Ajay King Lucas, or is it Ajay King Lucas? Forgive me. Watching you live from Zwarungu, Bolgatanga, we love you. Yeah, we have a song for you. Have you heard it? Kafankere. Atinga ya chika fankere. Azure ya chika fankere. Ajay King ya chika nkere. Wo kankere. Bachinkere mekuwa. Kere ememai. Nkere na manfarfare. O na mandagati. There's a part that mentions Zwarungu. I go to Tongo Kafankare and Bongo Kafankare. Zwarungu Kafankare. Check it out. You'll love it. Nobab says that you should learn. Find you a God-fearing lady and stay loyal. Hallelujah. I like that. Nobab. Champion Zekalanga. Keep up the good work. Mark Romeo Ofori. Or is it Ofori? Joe Caliber is the only solution. Yeah. Who is he? Or who is she? Mas Babatu says hello. Good morning to everyone. Hey, Babatu. Why are you living in Scandinavia? Watching from Japan. Okay, Japan. In Kumasi and Bogus, no, you can't Japan, you can't Japan. My name is Black Rasta, and I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I love you. It's been yet another beautiful day. We apologize one more time for the late start of the show. We don't normally start late. We start at 6 and we close at 7. My name is Black Rasta. I love you and I appreciate you. Remember to share the broadcast and also take our numbers scrolling on the screen so that you can do business with us. These are our numbers. I love you. Hey! Hey! Boyo!